back to Kane6989's channel, where I play the video games so that you wouldn't have to, assuming that you don't actually like to play these games. Anyway, today I'm starting off a new series called Kane6989's Classics. I'm debuting it with the PlayStation 2's very own Dark Cloud. Now, this game was one of the first PS2 games I actually played back when the console was first released. The year I had gotten the console for Christmas. I actually got this in a bundle with several other games. At some point, I'm hoping I can actually show those games to you as well. But as for right now, this is what I'm starting with, and I'm gonna go ahead and get it started and let you guys watch it. This is the rendition that they re-released for PlayStation 4. I still actually own the game for PS2, and just so you guys can see, I still own the game for PS2. I really like this game, and I decided I'm gonna go ahead and try playing it for you guys here on the PlayStation 4. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and get a fresh start here. Oh, I guess the controls are a little bit behind. I'm gonna go to start. Here we go, guys. I'm gonna read this to you as we go. A book was found in some old ruins. All the scholars who decoded it puzzled over the mystery of the book. A world with 2 moons illuminating the sky. The many dazzling adventures of a young boy. But whether or not this is a true story, do you believe in the story woven in the books? Maybe it's a fantasy that existed only in a boy's heart. Let me tell you this story. This ancient book tells of a magical and magnificent fairy tale. And the hero of this wondrous tale, whose name is... Now, his original name, guys, is Toan, so that is what I will go with this time. I know I normally would go with my Kane6989 name, but for the sake of the story, I'm going to go ahead and name him Toan. So let's get this started. It starts in a dark shrine. Looks like there's a cult that is actually worshipping a giant urn that appears to have a dark aura coming from it. You've gathered quite a few of them. I had a hard time finding dancers with the right qualifications. Look at them. They're dents of blood. Mixing the blood of witches with that of humans is the key to breaking the seal. However, I do have some problems. In order to procure good material, you do need adequate... I see. I'll pay you extra. That should solve your problem, too. Yes, sir. Thank you. So, when will it happen? Very soon, sir. Let us enjoy the ceremony till it is time. PlayStation 2, I know definitely Final Fantasy X had a greater graphic leap, but I'm more involved in the story. I like seeing how they take what kind of power they have and make it into the experience. Story means more to me than graphics do, but graphics would definitely be the second up. Flag, sir. Do you know the legend of the Dark Genie? Of course. How much money do you think I put into acquiring this urn. I've been waiting for this for years, and now its legendary power is mine. 400 years ago, the Genie of Darkness appeared in the East, and with its evil power, the world was burned away. What do you intend to do with such frightening power in your hands? You'll see. It's weird how they actually included that butt wiggle right there. Like, did you really need to put that in the scene? Is that really, a big deal in the game? Now, I'm sorry, any boys that played this in their teens would have noticed that butt. Uh-oh. So now is the time. Yes, sir, so it seems. Yes, sir, so it seems. That's one big fat fucker. Introducing the Dark Genie, the final boss. Well, this is the Dark Genie? Well, it's quite different than I imagined. The ancient Dark Genie, this is it? Hey, why you guys? Welcome back, Genie of Darkness. I broke the seal and released you. Therefore, I am your master. Oh, is that right? Whatever, fine. Yes, that's right. I haven't eaten in 400 years. Don't I have to eat something? I need food. Food! Got you. What? He's going to eat the fat pudgy man. Apparently there must be more meat on him. I don't know. Wow, stop it! Help! What a ham. And the burp was right on cue too. That was perfect. Delicious. As I was saying, guys, the Dark Genie is supposedly the final boss of this game. I did go through and beat this game before. Unfortunately, when I got to the end, I couldn't beat the Dark Genie, and I ended up having to actually use a Game Shark, which I'm sad to say, but it was the only way I was going to beat the game when I was 14 years old. But I intend to play through this one legit, just as I have been playing through legit on the PlayStation 2. Hi, how are you today? Toan, it's already started. Come on, let's go. Toan, it's already started. Come on, let's go. See, I told you. You should have hurried. Come on, we're late. I'm a staff member this year, so I have to go. Sorry. I need to just let you guys know, too. Toan does not speak. He literally plays the, I'm trying to give an example of a game where the main character doesn't speak. Dang, I feel so dumb right now. I know I've played a few of them. I literally cannot think of one. I feel so bad. But anyway, yeah, it's like one of those kinds of games. The main character doesn't speak. It's what you decide to do, pretty much, that determines where the story goes. Oh, she left you. Toan, hurry up. Dang, he just killed that suit quick. Meet our main hero, guys. The one we play as. Alright, here we go. It starts off on the night of the festival, which is celebrated in Toan's village, I believe every year or every generation. I can't remember exactly what it is. Money where everybody dances around the giant torch. chose to remake this game, like with, you know, redoing the artwork and everything with a PS4's engine, I'm sure this game would be remarkable. I would love it. Go, Tom, run! Uh-oh. It's the Dark Genie. Look at the insects squirm about. Start there. Dark Genie is just like pissing and shooting and eating all these blasts out. It's hard to tell where exactly he's shooting from. I know it's coming from his finger, but it looks like it's coming from other spots too. It looks like it's coming from other spots too. Everything's been set ablaze. Go, Tom, go! Go! Genie made his landing. Did I die? Hi there. Can you hear me? Open your eyes. Wake up. Hey. Introducing the old man. I am the Fairy King. I am the entity that unites all of nature's spirits. Listen well, young one. Something bad has happened. Men blinded by greed have revived the Dark Genie. This Dark Genie is terribly powerful. Its power is so great that it could destroy the entire world. You saw it, your own village being destroyed right before your eyes. Not just your village. In a flash, many villages and towns were destroyed. In one night, half of your world was annihilated. All that destruction. It must be the men from the east that performed the resurrection ceremony. Probably thinking to use its black demon power for war without realizing how frightening it is. It is darkness, pure darkness itself. Long ago, this so-called Dark Genie almost destroyed the entire world. Its malevolence is that great. The bad thing is that it has the same type of magical power as us, spirits. Unfortunately, we aren't powerful enough to destroy it. Young man, I see that you have a strong will that could withstand the evil power. And also a clear, kind heart. You might be able to fight against the darkness it generates. I decided to stake you. I decided to stake our fate on you. Let me bless you with power. Atlamillia. There. Surprised? That's called Atlamillia. It's a stone with a magical power. Oh, don't look that way, boy. I'll explain now. It might get too bright for your eyes for a moment. This is what's left of the village. You know where this is. This is no simple empty lot. This was your village. But do not lose heart. So long as you have that stone, you can return it to its original form. You see, just before the village was destroyed by that genie, I saved the buildings and people by I'm guessing putting them into spheres called Atla. those Atla were scattered all around by its tremendous magic power. They were probably blown to different places around the world. He probably thinks everything is destroyed. You must restore the world before it realizes what happened. Absorb that which I sealed in Atla, using that Atlamillia, and bring them back. Then you'll be able to restore the world to its original form. You may even be able to create an even better world than before. You don't seem to understand everything I'm saying. Very well, I'll give you another lesson when you acquire some Atla. So long. And away the old man goes. The old man's spirit. Welcome to what's left of Naroon Village. Toan, can you hear them? You should be able to hear them. Voices of the wind, voices of the trees, voices of the animals, and the voices of Earth. They are all calling for your help. Toan, you will probably meet and say goodbye to many people. In talking to those people, you may receive clues defeating the darkness. Look for them. Now, Toan, your adventure will begin. First, go to the village chief's house. He'll show you where to go next. Naroon Village. This is your home village, guys. Now, what he was talking about is one of the features of this game is, even after you acquire the people and places, you can arrange the village any way you want. But if you wanted to return the village back to the way it was, you can actually get a 100% rating on it by saving all the people and them telling you where their house needs to be placed, or giving you clues to where they need to be placed. This was tricky for me the first time I went through it, but I did manage to get all the villages and stuff back to the way that they were originally. Just you have to pay attention and really think about where you're placing everything. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. I'm gonna head to the village chief's house, where I believe he's going to give me some gear to start off with. Let's see. I thought there'd be something still around here. I don't think there is. So wait a minute. Back around here. Okay, nothing back there. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start going up here, and hopefully the village chief should actually give me some gear to start with. He and I surprisingly survived the accident. And until you're able to get the grocery shop back, he'll provide you with free items, all of which are essential to be able to play. Ah, Toan, you are alive. Seems like we're the only ones in the village that survived. We never dreamt this had happened. One night in our village is gone. Can you believe this, Toan? I feel so helpless. I, the mayor of the village, can't do anything about it. What am I supposed to do now? Maybe you can leave it up to me, and I can try and bring the village back. I guess the only thing we can do is to get help from the guardian of Naroon Village, Dran. Dran will not abandon us. He'll help us for sure. I have a favor to ask, Toan. Go to the Divine Beast Cave and tell Dran what happened. The Divine Beast Cave is the cave just like outside towards the your right-hand side. You've probably seen it before. I may be imagining things, but I sense something has changed about the cave. Be careful. This is the cave key. Cave key acquired. I put the things you might need in your bag for you. Don't get carried away. If you get in trouble in there, come back here. I'll get you more supplies. Good luck. Now basically, until you go and you unlock, I believe it's called Old Gaffer's Buggy, he's the one that he's the grocery store of the village. Every village has a shop where you can go and buy supplies. His is the one for this village, but I have to find him first. So until I can find him, I'll be regularly making trips back to acquire more supplies. Adventure Day 1, Dusk. I'll go ahead and do just the first couple of levels so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I know that was a long intro and we're just now getting started with the gameplay, but it gets better, trust me. I've played this game, I've beaten it, it's really worth the time. And it's beautifully done for the PlayStation 2's graphics. A big keyhole. I feel like I'm getting a little nostalgia from Kingdom Hearts here. Use the cave key. The Divine Beast Cave. This is essentially the first set of levels. Or this is technically where you're going to go to find all the Atla that you use for Naruun Village. Every town or village or city is going to have a dungeon adjacent to it where you find all the pieces to rebuild it. But you have to make it all the way through and collect all the pieces of Atlamillia. Anyway, here we go. We're going to start with Basement 1. But you got a certain number of Atlamillias across the screen. And then a number of either, I think that's for enemies. Anyway, here we go. This will be really quick, guys. He's just giving you a quick idea of what's going on. It's for real this time, Toan. From here on, you will be put to the true test. First, conquer this wretched Divine Beast Cave and find Dran's lair. That's your first goal. Since you're a beginner, I'll give you a lesson on how to fight in the dungeon. First, to advance to the next floor in a dungeon, acquire a gate key for the door leading to the next floor. Each dungeon has a different gate key. For the Divine Beast Cave, Dran's Crest will be the gate key. The gate key is almost always carried by a monster in the dungeon. You must defeat the monsters to acquire the gate key. Since you can't tell which one has the key, you just have to defeat them all one by one. Next, I'll tell you about how to return to the ground level, rather than advancing to the floor below. To return to ground level, mind connect with me. In other words, speak with your mind. When you do this, I will transport your body to the ground level. Just select Leave Dungeon from the main menu. But be aware, if there are monsters left on the floor, the mind connect won't work. It will be blocked by their evil energies. In such cases, use the item Escape Powder to get out on your own. The Naruun Village Chief has lots of it, so be sure to get it before you go. You can always mind connect with me when you go through the gate to the next floor of a dungeon. When you re-enter the dungeon, you can start at the next new level, so you don't have to worry about losing progress. Next, it's on to weapons. Be aware that weapons are breakable. The more you use a weapon, the more it wears. The longer you use a weapon by repairing, the more magic it absorbs from monsters and thus becomes stronger. It's said that when a weapon reaches its full strength, it can change to a more powerful form. Keep that in mind. Oh, I cast a special spell on your dagger you have on you so it will never disappear. But all the new weapons you will get during the quest will disappear once they break, so be careful. Don't waste your hard work by letting a weapon break and disappear. Finally, the important stuff, the sphere, Atla, where I protected and sealed the fragments of the world. If you see an Atla, don't hesitate to touch it. You can absorb the contents of an Atla into Atlamillia just by touching it. When you return to the surface, you will be able to begin reassembling these fragments of the world. Oops, today's lessons ran a little long. That's it for the lecture today. Now, Toan, show me your true ability on this quest. Okay, guys, I know that was a long intro, so if any of you decide you want to go ahead and just skip over that intro and get straight to the gameplay part, this is where you're going to get to. This is where you're going to want to go to. I'm not sure exactly how far we've gone in. I've been broadcasting and it doesn't show me a timer. I won't know until I finish the broadcast. So, just make sure you try and get up to this point. If I remember, I'll go ahead and put a link. I'll go ahead and put the time in the description so you can just zip right to it. But anyway, now we're going to get on with the main game. I'm not going to go through all these levels, but I'll show you the first couple, at least down to what's called a dual stage. And I'll do videos where I'll show you the big events in the game. so you can skip, so you don't have to worry about watching all of these back-to-back levels. I'm not going to do that to you guys. I wouldn't want to sit around and watch it either. But that's how I will do this. Once I reach certain points, I will start broadcasting and show you what to expect. Anyway, let's get this going. Oh. I have to go to the page. You're going to go to items. Now you got resources that you need. You have your life bar, which is the blue bar with the heart. The sword one, the orange bar with the sword, is your weapon HP. Every time you go to use your weapons, that bar goes down. If that reaches 0, your weapon breaks and you lose all progress with it and it'll disappear. Unless it's your dagger, then it'll just lose all progress and go back to its base form, which you'll have to repair if you want to be able to build it up again. And you also have the gourd symbol down there with the water droplets. That's your thirst meter. Anytime you progress through a dungeon, your thirst meter will gradually go down. You can fill it up easily by drinking things like water. I think you have other things you can drink too, but I believe it's mainly water. Water is to fill your gauge back up, your water gauge. If you take damage, of course, your HP, the blue bar, is going to go down. That you can restore by eating things like food. You can start it off with a loaf of bread. This actually recovers a little bit of your health. Because of your health being as low as it is, it will fill up gradually very quickly. You also get an antidote drink for if you get poisoned. Always good to have, because your health will gradually go down as you go through the cave. And, like, if there's still monsters around, if you're in trouble and you can't fight the monsters off, escape powder is definitely your best friend for getting you back to safety. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'll talk more later. I don't want to talk to you guys' ears off. I'm sorry. Oh, I forgot the circle button. There we go. And what you want to do, if you want to lock onto an enemy, use the circle button, and you'll automatically lock onto the nearest enemy. And use your X button to swing your weapon. Sometimes enemies will drop things. You also have the option of using whatever's in your active slot with the square button, and you can scroll between your active slots with the directional pad. You use the left analog stick to move, and the right analog stick to adjust the camera. I love how they made the controls very simplistic. That's definitely going to come in handy if you decide to go and play this game. Anyway, you can go ahead and pick these up with X to bring them to your active slots. I usually try to keep these 3 if possible. You can't put powders, so obviously it's going to be the antidote drink. Or if you already have something equipped in that slot and you have like another piece of bread or another water in here, just go over it and hit the triangle button and it'll automatically zip to the active spot where the rest of them are. Good way to restock yourself if you come across some. All you gotta do with the Atlas is just come up to it, press X, and it automatically pops out and goes right into your inventory, which you can use for later. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go through this pretty quick. The stage will be very brief. And then I'll explain that'll be it for this video. Oh, I got poisoned already. How about that? I'll fix that. And don't worry, if you have to drink water or an antidote potion, time will stop while you're doing the drinking. So you don't have to worry about if you're about to get struck or shot or something. Which is a good feature, because I hate when that happens during boss fight. Okay, and Mancho's the first person to come across. And a treasure chest. Very nice. Got a bone key. Don't worry guys, I'm just gonna do this first stage, and then I'll go ahead and call it quits on this video. When I get to another stage where something important happens, that's where I'll start recording again. Oh, that hurt. Can't see my health gauge. Eat up. Whoa, I did not see that. They ran up on me like hobos. You bastards. Yeah. Come back here, you bitch. I'm gonna cut you like a gangster. Cut you like a G unit. Okay. And don't worry, if you're not paying attention to your water gauge, that's fine too. It will give you a notification saying you're getting thirsty. That's when your gauge is about to run out, and if your health gauge runs out, you will start to gradually lose life. So you need to make sure you keep that gauge up. You have something to drink when that gauge gets low. It won't be a problem until it runs out. So you don't have to worry. Let's go ahead and keep going on. But your goal is to go around and pick up all the Atla that you can find. Treasure chests are optional, and you're just going to keep fighting enemies. One of them is carrying what's called Dran's Crest, which you'll use to ascend to the next level. Another bat. I gotta time this shot just right. These bats are poisonous, so I gotta time this right. Gotcha. You can do a charge option, which involves you having to hold down the X button, charge until it blanks, and then of course you'll do a jump strike. Very nice to have that function. Very nice. There's the fence. So take care of this bat. Weapon HP again. Well, I gotta time this right. Oh, now it's getting to that point where I need to actually do this real quick. Let's go and use the repair powder. Go ahead and use it on the weapon. Restores it to full. HP's running a little low. I better go ahead and just zap that up there. Stamina drink. Stamina drink is always good. Bone key you can use to get through a locked door to another part of the floor, which you normally wouldn't be able to get to. Enemies also carry the bone keys, or you can find them in the treasure chests. Let's go ahead and do the stamina drink. Drink some water. Skeletons ain't shit! There's Dran's Crest. Now I can get to the next stage, guys. And that's the magical crystal, which is basically like the compass from Legend of Zelda. It shows you where the treasure chest, the Atla, and the enemies are on the map, even if you haven't completed the map. I think you have the option of getting a map as well, if I'm not mistaken. There it is, right there, the map. And that will in turn show you the entire floor, and then all you have to do is just go to the darkened areas and finish with the map. There's nothing obviously in here. This pool right here, though, you can go into to restore your health and fill up your thirst meter. So you never have to worry about that. If you're close by to it, definitely run into it instead of using what's in your inventory, because these never run out. These never go dry. So save the ones that are in your pack if you can, for in case there's not one around, because not all floors are going to have these. So if they're on the floor that you're on, definitely make use of them and save what you have. All right. One thing I need to mention, guys, is the red dots on the map are your enemies. The yellow dots are the treasure chests. Oh, I can upgrade now. Nice. Alright. Go to weapon in the menu. Click on the dagger with X. You're going to go down to upgrade, which when you do that, you'll be able to upgrade your weapon up, and it adds 1 point to each of the 4 stats, to attack, endurance, special, and MP, assuming that, you want to be able to do magical damage with it. You also have the option of customizing and choosing the attribute that's with. And your dagger is standard wind element, but there's also fire, earth, light, ice, such and such. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. It's been a long time. I don't have anything to customize it with, but you can add plates and stuff into here that that if they're equipped when you upgrade, they'll automatically get absorbed into the weapon, and then you can add in more plates, which is really good if you want to build up a particular element. But in this case, I don't have anything, and I'm active right now on wind, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick with that and just do the upgrade. Upgrade confirmed. To dagger +1. And once you get to dagger +5, you have the option of breaking the weapon down, through something called status break, which I believe the old man will tell you about later. But in case he doesn't, I'll go ahead and tell you now. You can take it and automatically equip it into a new weapon, which, depending on what the maximum ability is for that weapon, it'll shoot up. I mean, the stats for the new weapon will shoot up. That's how I played through this game originally. I would build up the weapons I had currently until I got them to that 5, status break them down, and then equip them into a new weapon that I wanted to carry, and I have some massive ability, guys. I can do massive damage. I think my best weapon right now in my other game on PlayStation 2 is the Sun Sword, which is very powerful, and you only find one of that weapon in the game for a while now. We'll get that one later. In any case, alright. Also, the question mark, you guys don't have to worry about. That's back floors. The old man will explain that later. I don't really mess much with back floors. It's just basically if you want to go and fight some harder enemies and find better gear. There's no Atla back on the back floor, so you don't have to worry about it. We can't go back there anyway until we get, you know, a carton of oil to be able to oil up the gears, the transport that'll take us back there. So don't worry about the carts right now. All you want to do is just take down the enemies, get the treasure chests, get the Atla, find Drain's Crest, and move on. Now this big door right here would be locked if I didn't have the bone key, because you see the handle on the door is a little skull. You're going to use the bone key, and it opens the door. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pick up this Atla real quick, guys, and then I'll be done with this. I'll be done with the stage. I know this would get irritating to go through this over and over and over again. That's why I'm only going to do videos this is why I'm only going to do videos for a short time. I mean, do videos at big parts of the game, so you guys don't have to see all the drab. Alright. Let's get over here, pick up this Outlaw. Got some road. Alright. And now I can start heading back. By the way, the green dot is the door where you came in. The yellow dot is the one to go down to progress. So once you have the actual map, you'll automatically be shown where it is. Not to mention, guys, you don't have to finish the map, but if you're trying to get all the Atla, you'll definitely want to. All you really need to do is find Drain's Crest and keep working your way down. That's all you really need to worry about. I'm gonna go ahead and fill up here. And now I'm going to start heading down to the yellow dot, guys. Let's see if I can move. Well, I won't worry about using the stamina thing right now. I could probably use that later. And by the way, the music does apply to every level except for the boss stage. So definitely make sure that, you know, if you don't like hearing the same sound, of course, you can turn the volume off. But then you won't be able to hear if enemies are in the area. Usually you hear a squeak or they'll start running towards you, especially with how fast those big orcs with the big mouths are. They come up to you and just smack you right down before you even had a chance to know what was coming. So, alright. That is the first stage of Dark Cloud, and I'm going to go ahead and leave the dungeon temporarily. And I'll go ahead and call this here, but when I get down to the next big part, I'll go ahead and do another video for you guys. This was just an intro video into Dark Cloud, and this being the debut game of my Classics playlist, which from right now, I will go ahead and call it quits. Let's go ahead and do this scene real quick. The old man. Seems like you finally come back with some Atla. Very well then, I shall teach you as I promised. The pieces sealed inside Atla are released by touching the Atla with your left hand, where the power of Atlamillia resides. Buildings and people that were sucked into the Atlamillia will be restored to their original form. Once you bring them back to the ground level, you can arrange them as you wish. By going back and forth between the dungeon and ground level, you can restore the earth to its original form. That's your mission as the one who was granted the power of the Atlamillia. Now, let us move on. This may get a bit technical. if you wanted to place buildings, etc., press the select button while walking and go to edit mode. Press the select button again to return to walking mode. In edit mode, you can reassemble buildings that have fallen apart and place them on the ground. Seeing is believing. Try it yourself. It must be faster than listening to my lecture. I can agree, guys. I know I've been talking a lot, but this is how psyched about this game I got over the years. Oh yes, and if you ever forget the things I teach you, use this. Which is good because in case you didn't want to listen to all the lecturing, he gives you a manual that you can look through on your own time at any point in the game and get a refresher on how to do everything. I love this feature, and it's one of the best things they could have ever put into this. With all that dialogue and a lot to remember, a manual is the perfect thing to have. So thank you, old man, for that. It's a guide for using Atlamillia and other things. I wrote it for beginners like you.
Manual can be selected from the main menu. Really carefully.
Okay, I leave the world's reconstruction to you. I'll be watching. So long. He's a very mysterious old man, but being as he is a spirit, I can see that definitely being a good thing. But at this point, this is where you would go over to the chief's house, just talk to him. He'll automatically restock you with what you need. Anything else you want to have, you'll have to go and get in the dungeon, because he'll only restock you with the base stuff that you started with. He won't give you anything more. It's not like you'll be able to stack up anything. But it's okay, because honestly, you really won't go through that much. If you just keep making repeated trips back to the surface, you'll be good. You actually won't have any problems. Just every time you go through one floor, make sure you do it as quickly as you can, because once you get Odd Gaffer's buggy store reopened, he'll actually be able to start selling you gear again, which is a really good thing, and then you can start building up what you got. So just try and get through the levels as quickly as you can, and you'll definitely get a lot more out of it. You'll definitely be able to get a lot more stuff later, so you won't have to keep backtracking so often. You could stock up and go through 5 floors before you come back. But anyway, don't rush it. Don't think that you need to have all that stuff right now. The first few levels are really not that hard. They're really not. You can go through them just like that. The only time you really need to fight an enemy is if you're just going to get Dran's Crest. After that, you don't even have to fight them. You don't get experience or anything for it. It's just to find Dran's Crest or possibly find some treasure or gold. That's really all it is. Anyway, guys, that is part 1 of Dark Cloud for the PS4. And I will be back after I go through a few more floors and get to another big part. And then I'll go ahead and show you guys that scene as well. Another feature that I definitely want to show you guys, it'll be down a few floors, but it's going to be an event called Dueling. This game doesn't do it as much as I wished it would, but Dueling is a very cool cinematic fight scene, which while I'm doing it, I'll be busy looking at the buttons. You guys can actually see how the combat goes. The dueling only happens a few times throughout the game, but I think it's one of the better features of this game, and I really wish if they remade this game to expand on dueling, make it more free-based. But anyways, I'll show you guys that later on. But in any case, thanks everybody so much for watching. If you like this video, definitely hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments or questions about the game, definitely go ahead and put them in the comments below. I have no problem responding to them as quickly as I can get to them. And if you have any ideas for other games you'd like me to play, even classical games, now that I'm doing a playlist of it, definitely go ahead and let me know in the comments or send me a private message. I'll definitely be up for it. I do plan on starting a separate Facebook page for you guys to be able to comment on my videos as soon as I can get around to it. But in any case, thanks you guys so much for watching, and just you guys are worth all this. I do this for fun, but at the same time, it's really for y'all's entertainment, and I'm really glad that I have this opportunity to be able to do this for you all. In any case, thanks guys so much for watching. I'll be back to see you in the next video. This is Kane6989, signing out. Bye-bye.